The alien woman said, "Don't touch me, I'm poisonous." The human reached. Beginning, the crash and the warning. The storm over Thalassa Prime had no mercy that night. Silver lightning split the skies of the oceanic world, and thunder rolled like the growl of some ancient god. The survey ship Artemis, for descended through the atmosphere, its hull shuddering as plasma fire licked its wings. Inside, Captain Elias Corin gripped the control yoke and fought against gravity's pull. Engines failing. Starboard stabilizer gone, his co-pilot Karajin shouted over the alarms. Brace for impact. Elias barked. Moments later, the ship slammed into the ocean, tearing through the waves like a falling star. Metal screamed, glass shattered, and everything went black. When Elias came to, the ship was half submerged, tilted on its side. He groaned, feeling pain bloom across his ribs. Kara lay unconscious beside him, her breathing shallow but steady. The emergency lights painted everything blood red. He unbuckled himself, checked Kara's pulse, and pulled her toward the rear hatch. Outside, the world was a haunting beauty. Dark waters glowed with bioluminescent algae, and purple lightning illuminated towering cliffs in the distance. Elias activated his comms. "This is Captain Elias Corin of the Artemis IV. Crash landed on Thalassa Prime. Grid coordinates unknown. Crew injured. Request immediate extraction." Only static answered. He set up an emergency beacon and began assessing the damage. They had food for 3 days, oxygen for 5, and no working shuttle. If rescue didn't come, they had to find shelter inland. That's when he saw her. A figure stood among the glowing reeds, tall, slender, and faintly radiant. Her skin shimmered with silver and blue hues that shifted like ocean currents. Long tendrils of hair drifted around her head, weightless, as though underwater. Her eyes, luminescent white, locked onto his. Elias froze. His weapon hand twitched. The alien woman raised a hand and spoke, her voice soft, melodic, but carrying a strange echo that reverberated in his bones. "Don't touch me, human. I'm poisonous." Elias blinked, unsure if he understood correctly. "Poisonous." She tilted her head, eyes narrowing. "My kind are death to your species. Contact with our skin, fatal within minutes." Her warning was not boastful. It was regretful. She turned to leave, the ocean lapping around her legs like she belonged to it. "Wait!" Elias called out. "We crash-landed. My crew needs help." The woman paused, her back to him. "No human should be here. This world rejects your kind. Leave before it's too late." "I can't leave," he said quietly. "Our ship's dead." For a long moment, she said nothing. Then, with a sigh that sounded like wind through coral, she looked back at him. "Then you're already doomed." Middle, the Forbidden Alliance. Over the next day, Elias struggled to keep Kara alive. Her injuries worsened. A fractured rib had punctured a lung, and their medical supplies were running low. He scavenged from the wreck, rigging makeshift shelters from hull plating. Each night, he glimpsed the alien woman again, standing on the cliffs or in the shallows, watching, always watching. Finally, desperation overcame fear. He left a message beacon near the crash site and followed the glowing footprints she left in the sand. They pulsed faintly, as though the ground remembered her touch. After hours of climbing through bioluminescent forests, he reached a lagoon framed by colossal coral structures that emitted their own light. She stood at the center, submerged waist-deep, surrounded by translucent creatures that resembled living ribbons. "I told you not to follow me," she said without turning. "My friend's dying," Elias said. "You're the only sentient being I've seen. Please, help me." The alien finally turned. "Help? You asked the poison to save the untainted." "I'll take the risk," he replied. Something flickered across her face. Surprise, maybe pity. She waded toward him but stopped short, maintaining a careful distance. "Even my breath could harm you if I choose. You humans burn easily." "Then don't choose to harm me," he said simply. She stared at him for a long time, then extended a small vial made of crystal. Inside shimmered a glowing liquid. "This will heal her, if she is still alive by dawn. Pour it on her wound, but do not let it touch your skin." He took the vial, carefully using a scrap of fabric. "Thank you. What should I call you?" "My name has no sound your tongue can make," she said softly. "But you may call me Lasara." "Lasara," he repeated. "I'm Elias." "Elias," she murmured, as if testing the name. Then she turned and vanished beneath the glowing waves. The medicine worked. By dawn, Kara's breathing stabilized, her color returning. Elias wanted to thank Lasara, but she was gone. Days passed. No rescue came. The beacon remained unanswered. Elias began exploring the coastline, collecting supplies. Sometimes he'd catch faint whispers beneath the wind, her voice. Other times, she'd appear silently beside the wreck, warning him of approaching storms or dangerous wildlife. She always kept her distance, never closer than 10 feet. Yet every encounter left him more fascinated. One night, as they sat near a fire, he asked, "Why are you helping us if we're not supposed to be here?" Her eyes reflected the flames like liquid moonlight. "Because I once loved a human," she said quietly. "Long ago." That revelation struck him. "Loved? What happened?" "He died," she said simply. "By my touch." The silence that followed was heavy. Elias felt the ache in her words. "You blame yourself." She looked away. "He was warned, just as you were. He reached for me, and his heart stopped within seconds. Since then, I have sworn never to let another human near me." Elias met her gaze. "Maybe he thought you were worth dying for." Lasara's lips curved faintly, almost a smile. "Humans and their foolish courage." "Sometimes courage and foolishness are the same thing," he said. She studied him quietly, and for the first time, didn't step back when he leaned closer, though the air between them shimmered with her biotoxin field. His sensors beeped in warning, and he froze. She could see the device flashing red. "Even your machines know I'm dangerous," she whispered. Danger doesn't scare me, he said. Losing hope does. She turned and looked toward the stars. You are unlike the others who came here before. They hunted us. You speak instead. Maybe that's why I'm still alive, Elias said with a dry chuckle. For the first time, she laughed, a sound like bells underwater. Over the following days, their strange friendship deepened. She taught him about the Alasa Prime's ecology, how the sea and land shared a living consciousness known as the deep mind. The planet was alive in a literal sense, reacting to emotions, intentions, and energy. It punished greed but nurtured empathy. She explained her people's curse. The biotoxin that radiated from their bodies was both gift and prison. It protected them from invaders but doomed any chance of closeness with other life forms. In return, Elias shared stories of Earth, of cities that touched the clouds, of music, of rain that smelled like dust and flowers. Lysara listened with wide, longing eyes. I have seen your world through transmissions, she said. Your people are loud, chaotic, fragile, and yet beautiful. Sometimes I think we're too broken to deserve beauty, Elias replied. Perhaps, she said softly, but you still create it. That is why I envy you. Middle, 2, the rising threat. Weeks passed. Then came the shadow. A massive storm front appeared on the horizon, darker than night itself. Lysara looked upon it with dread. The deep mind is awakening. It senses your presence. It sees you as contamination. Elias frowned. Can't you talk to it? Make it understand we mean no harm? I've tried, she said, voice trembling. It listens to no one now. It wants a purge. Kara, who had recovered enough to walk, joined them. Then we leave. We can build a raft. Follow the current north. Lysara shook her head. The currents will crush you before you escape. There's only one way. The heart of the deep mind lies beneath the ocean's core. If I can reach it, I might calm it. But I will need your help. Elias hesitated. Won't it kill me if I go that deep? She looked at him with sorrow. It might, but if you stay, it will kill everyone. Elias didn't hesitate long. Then we go. The descent. The next morning, they set out across the glowing waters on a makeshift skimmer built from the Artemis IV's parts. Lysara led the way, her body emitting faint pulses that calmed the sea creatures around them. As they reached the storm's edge, lightning danced across the waves, forming massive energy pillars. The water boiled. Lysara turned to him. Beyond this point, my toxin will intensify. If you stay too close, it will kill you. He met her eyes. I'll take my chances. The journey down was like falling into another universe. The sea turned from blue to indigo to absolute black, illuminated only by Lysara's glow. She chanted softly in her native tongue, and the darkness responded, parting before them like curtains. At last, they reached the heart, an immense crystalline sphere pulsing with light. Inside, Elias could see shapes, millions of souls, perhaps memories, swirling like galaxies. This is the deep mind, Lysara whispered, and it is in pain. Suddenly, tendrils of dark energy lashed out, wrapping around her. She screamed as her body convulsed, the toxin around her flaring bright. Elias drew his plasma cutter and slashed at the tendrils, but it was useless. What can I do? Touch the heart, she cried. Show it what you feel. Show it we mean no harm. Without thinking, Elias reached for the glowing sphere. Don't! Lysara screamed. You'll die! But he didn't stop. His hand pressed against the crystalline surface, and agony exploded through him. Visions flooded his mind. The deep mind sorrow, the ancient wars, the fear of extinction. He saw Lysara's memories too, her laughter, her guilt, the human she once loved. Through the pain, he whispered, You don't have to destroy us. We're not your enemies. The darkness hesitated. Then slowly it receded. The storm above began to break. Lysara floated toward him, tears glowing on her cheeks. You did it, she whispered. You touched the heart. He smiled weakly, his hand still burning from the contact. Guess I'm stubborn. Then he collapsed, ending the touch. When Elias awoke, he was on the shore. The skies were clear, the waves calm. Kara was nearby, staring at something. Lysara knelt beside him. Her glow was faint, her breathing shallow. What happened? He rasped. You gave part of yourself to the deep mind, she said softly. Your courage calmed it. The storm is gone, but you are fading. Elias tried to move, but couldn't. His skin was pale, his pulse weak. Figures, he muttered with a broken smile. Always end up dying for someone. Lysara's eyes filled with tears. No, not again. She leaned closer, trembling. I told you never to touch me, that my skin was poison. He met her gaze, voice barely a whisper. I don't care. Before she could stop herself, she reached out, her fingers trembling, and touched his cheek. Her glow flared white hot, her body racked with energy. For a brief, impossible moment, Elias felt warmth spread through him, pushing back the pain. His heart steadied. Then she pulled away, gasping. Her hand left a faint burn mark shaped like her palm. What did you do? He whispered. I gave you my life force, she said, smiling faintly. The poison runs both ways. It can kill or heal. He reached up weakly, brushing a strand of her silver hair. You'll die. My kind never truly die, she said. We become part of the deep mind. I'll be everywhere, in the waves, the wind, maybe even your dreams. Her body began to dissolve into shimmering light. He tried to hold on, but his hands passed through her like mist. Lysara, he whispered. Her final words drifted through the air like a sigh. You touched me, human, and you lived. Then she was gone, a column of light rising toward the dawn. Epilogue, the return. Weeks later, a rescue ship from the Terran Federation found the crash site. Elias and Kara were airlifted to orbit. The storm was gone, the planet calm. During debrief, Elias refused to let scientists probe the crystal vial he still carried. It was all that remained of Lysara. Captain, one of the officers asked, What happened down there? Elias stared out the viewport at the glowing planet below. We made peace, he said quietly, with something beautiful and dangerous. That night, as he lay in his quarters, he felt a faint warmth on his cheek, the place she had touched. Outside, the stars shimmered like silver eyes watching over him, and for the first time since the crash, he smiled.